Hello children, we are having this boiled rice during our lunch. Have we ever thought from where are we getting this boiled rice? We are just getting the rice from the shops and we are having it. But initially, we are getting the rice from the plants. So today, we are going to learn about a new lesson, crop production and management. Green plants make their own food by using a process called photosynthesis. But animals and human beings cannot make their own food. So humans and animals are directly or indirectly dependent on plants for food. In order to provide food for a larger population, farmers are facing a great challenge of producing sufficient crops to meet the demand for future generation. So agriculture is very important. Without these farmers, we cannot have our food. Okay, so today we are going to learn in detail about the crop production and management. In that, the first topic is agricultural practices. Agriculture is the backbone of our country's economy. Three categories of crops are grown in our country. They are kharif crops, rabi crops, zaid crops or summer crops. First one is kharif crops. Kharif crops are the crops which are sown in rainy season. That is from the month of June to September. Those crops are called as kharif crops. Example, paddy, maize, groundnut, etc. Okay, so have you understood about kharif crop? Okay, next is rabi crops. Rabi crops are grown in winter season. That is from the month of October to March. Example, wheat, gram, mustard. The third category is zaid crops. It is otherwise called as summer crops because these crops grow during the summer season. Example, muskmelon, watermelon, cucumber and bitter gourd. Okay, so have you understood about the three categories of crops which are grown in our country? Okay, next is according to the utility, that is according to our uses, crops are classified into 5. They are food crops, fodder crops, fiber crops, oil crops and ornamental crops. We are going to learn about all these 5 in detail. First one is food crops. Food crops are grown for human consumption, that is for our human being. Example, paddy, maize. Second one is fodder crops. These fodder crops are grown for livestock consumption, that is for the cattle to have their food. Example, sorghum, millets. Third one is fiber crops. These fiber crops, example as cotton, hemp. These are grown to produce cordage, that is ropes, and it is also used in textile industry. Fourth one is oil crops. Oil crops are useful in a large scale for consumption as well as for the industrial uses. Example, groundnut, sunflower, sesame. Fifth one is ornamental crops. These ornamental crops are grown for beauty. Example, croton. Okay. So, this ornamental crops are used for landscape gardening. So, this is called as the landscape gardening, that is, it is grown for the beauty. Okay, so have you understood about the agricultural practices? Okay, next is basic practices of crop production. To produce a crop, farmers had to do all these practices. We cannot produce the crops in a fraction of a second like magic. There are many practices which should be done by the farmer to produce the crops. So we will learn about all these 7 practices, that is soil preparation, sowing of seeds, adding manure and fertilizers, irrigation, weeding, harvesting of crops, storage of food grains in detail. The first step is soil preparation. The very first step in agriculture is to prepare the soil. That is, the top layer of soil should be loosened. For loosening the soil, there are many methods. The first method is ploughing. Ploughing is otherwise called as tilling. It is the process of turning the soil upside down. The ploughing facilitates the availability of nutrients for the crops. This ploughing can be done manually or by using machines. Some important things which are used in soil preparation are plough. So this is the plough. It is used for tilling the soil. It is also used to add fertilizers to crop, and it is also used to remove the weeds. Weeds mean unwanted plants. So this plough, so this is the plough. Plough is made of wood. It is drawn by a pair of bulls. So you would have seen in the last picture. This plough is drawn by a pair of bulls. This plough has a strong, sharp, triangular iron strip called ploughshare. The long log of wood is called as plough shaft. The other end is attached to a beam which is placed on bull's neck. Okay, so this is about plough. Next one is hoe. This hoe, the left side is the tool. Okay, hoe is a simple tool. This tool is used to till the land, plough the land, and it is also used to remove weeds, that is unwanted plant. Okay. Next one is cultivator. Cultivator are driven by the tractor. It is used to kill weeds. It is used for the picking the unwanted plants. Okay. So this cultivator use is, it saves the labor and time because it is driven by the tractor. Okay. So that is about ploughing. Next one is leveling. Once the field is ploughed, leveling of soil is done using leveling. Okay. So it is done for the uniform distribution of water during the irrigation. Next one is basal manuring. That is, manuring means adding manure, that is uram. Okay, adding manure to the soil. Manure contains many nutrients. This manure is added to the soil before sowing because it gets properly incorporated into the soil. So this is about the preparation of soil. In preparation of soil, we saw about ploughing, leveling and basal manuring. Okay, so have you understood? Okay, second step is sowing of seeds. This is the second step. Once the soil is prepared, seed is sown in the soil. The sowing of seeds can be done by various methods. First method is sowing by hand. Sowing seeds by hand is the simplest method of sowing seeds. Second one is seed drill. Seed drill is a modern method of sowing seeds. It is a better method than sowing by hand because seeds are sown at equal intervals and at correct depth. Okay. Third one is dibbling. This method is placing seed in a furrow or pit or hole by a hand. So this is about sowing of seeds. Okay. The third step is adding manure and fertilizers. The substance which are added to the soil in the form of nutrients to enhance the growth of plant is called as manure and fertilizers. In that, manure is an organic substance which has been got from the decomposition of plants or animal wastes. Fertilizer is a substance which is added to soil to improve plants' growth and yield. This fertilizer are composed of urea, ammonium sulfate, then superphosphate, potash and NPK. NPK means nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. So this is the third step, adding manure and fertilizers. So in this lesson, still now we have learned about the crops which are grown in our country, and then crops classification according to our uses. And in the basic practices of crop production, we have learnt about soil preparation, sowing of seeds and adding manure and fertilizers. Thank you, girls.